Good morning. Welcome to Toronto Police Headquarters for the Chief's Gala check presentation to Victim Services Toronto. Chief?
Thank you, Jennifer, and welcome to headquarters. And before I begin, I just want to acknowledge that this land is a home, and it was a home, and is a home to many differing nations, and acknowledge that this is the territory and treaty lands of the Mississaugas of the New Credit and the Anishinaabe. Today's a very special day. Thank you so much for coming here. Victim Services is one of the entities. They are not part of the Toronto Police Service. They are a different entity. They're the only agency in the city that provides immediate crisis trauma and support to victims of crime and sudden tragedies. And I just want to say thank you to them for the great work that they do. It does not go unnoticed, and it is so important to have that aspect of the crime that does occur, and the fact that we are looking after those who are in need. Last year, the Chief's Gala, which is the primary fundraiser for Victim Services, was a phenomenal year. We had over 900 guests. We had it was an amazing presentation. Teresa, thank you so much for you helping set the climate of what this is all about, and it was a very tremendous, fantastic story that you shared with us. But really, at the end of the day, when it comes to the deliverables, it was a fantastic year. And we made over $40,000 more than we've made before, a total of $301, $533 going to the Victim Services for such a worthy cause. And I just want to say thank you to all of the contributors, all of those honorary chairs that are here today, some of them are here today, for your support, for working with us. The city has so many people that are giving back because there is such a strong need to help those that are in need. At some point in time in our lives, we do need that help. And what makes Toronto great is that we have so many people that understand that and willing to contribute. And today is such a statement of what great citizens we have in Toronto, what great organizations we have in Toronto that have made this a very successful and fantastic gala. I'm looking forward to this year's, which is going to be November the 2nd of this year. So please pencil that date in. I promise that it's going to be very exciting awards. And more importantly, all the funds go to fantastic cause. So, Bonnie, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah.
Come on up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming. $333,054 will go a very long way for Victim Services Toronto, helping victims of crime and sudden tragedy. The proceeds from the 2016 Chiefs Gala enables Victim Services Toronto to provide comprehensive services to 3,344 people who have been victimized. That's what the funds can do. It also enables us to operate our entire agency, every program and service, for 1,323 hours. That is 55 days of operation. And so it really is a huge accomplishment for us and a very enormous contribution. Of course, we couldn't do it without the incredible support of Chief Mark Saunders. If it wasn't for his deliberate, consistent, and staunch support, we absolutely would not be celebrating this tremendous success today. Throughout his policing career, Chief Saunders has been a great ally, a community partner, and a very good friend to Victim Services Toronto, and we are forever grateful. I also want to offer our heartfelt thanks and appreciation to the Chief Gala sponsors, donors, the honorary chairs, the planning committee, and of course Gala co-chairs Brian Monez and Paula Silver. I also want to thank Teresa for putting herself out there and telling her story to help Victim Services Toronto. As the chief said, Victim Services Toronto is an independent, not-for-profit registered charity. We provide emotional and practical support to victims and survivors in the immediate aftermath of crime and tragedy. We work side by side with our Toronto Police Service partners 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We're the only agency in Toronto that does what we do, and the only agency that can do what we do. With 26 full-time equivalent staff and more than 200 community volunteers, we have the ability to provide services in over 35 languages. Victim Services Toronto helps people get help, and they get through their deepest and darkest, most painful moments. At a moment's notice, any time of the day or night, we're there for victims and survivors. We help parents who have lost children who have been murdered or who have committed suicide or who have died in a tragic event. We comfort children who have experienced and witnessed horrific violence. We hold group debriefings with family, friends, community members who have been devastated by homicide. We help young girls who have been held captive, brutally abused, and sold for profit. Not only do we help these individuals in the immediate aftermath of crime, we help people rebuild their lives. We help people in very practical ways, like with funeral arrangements. We advocate for leniency with employers. We contact embassies. We arrange for visitors' visas. We locate and arrange ongoing counseling services. We help victims find childcare, attendant care, home care, transportation, and accommodation. Victim Services Toronto also works hard to help keep victims safe. Victims who are at extremely high risk of losing their lives to domestic violence. We work with victims and survivors to develop comprehensive safety plans and access personal safety devices like portable alarm systems and cell phones. We ensure that victims have access to the financial resources that they need after the crime. Expenses like funeral expenses, crime scene cleanup, travel expenses, and childcare expenses. We're there in the middle of the night making arrangements to secure broken doors and smashed windows while providing emotional support. We've also added a trauma dog to our team, Dandy, and Dandy helps reduce stress and anxiety for some of our younger clients, our children and youth clients. We also help prevent violence through our youth education and leadership program, TEAR, Teens Ending Abusive Relationships. Victim Services Toronto provides a lifeline for more than 20,000 victims each and every year, and at a time when people need it the most. And in turn, the Chiefs Gala provides a lifeline for Victim Services Toronto. It's the underpinning for all our programs and services, and on behalf of Victim Services Toronto, I offer our heartfelt thanks to all those involved in making the 2016 Chiefs Gala a huge success. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Smiling, of course. Says 301,000. Thank you very much.
Could you guys hold at this for one more second?
Yeah.
Thank you.